Hello, good viber. How are you doing today? It's your girl Esther Joy coming at you with a live stream video. And today we're going to be talking about fearing your own potential. Maybe you know this as imposter syndrome. Maybe you see this as self-sabotage. Maybe you're just nervous about actually reaching the potential that you can because nobody you know has ever told you it's gonna be okay. Or maybe they have, but maybe there's something deep inside your subconscious which is telling you that it's not going to be okay. Anyways, there's a lot of things that come into the realm when we talk about fearing your own potential. I've been reflecting very deeply on life and the reason why we want to manifest certain things. You know, why do some people want to manifest amazing experiences while other people want to manifest amazing friends or things, right? Why are we all different in what we want? And of course, it's because of our experience and our unique soul, energy, signature, vibration, stuff like that. But I guess I'm making this live stream to talk to you and I sort out the thought process. Hopefully we're gonna do some heart chakra work today. We're gonna be unknotting and unleashing the potential within our heart that I think a lot of people, it is held really deeply under lock and key, that's thrown into the ocean of the unknown because it's a scary thing. So let me start off by saying that I'm going to be using a lot of metaphors for the heart chakra. The heart chakra for me, the heart space is a garden, and it is full of, beautiful plants that we bring into our presence with awareness and emotion and just intention, divine intention. Now, what happens when you are afraid? A lot of people, they shut down, and because of this, they no longer allow those emotions to flow to this area of the garden. What's up, Yin Sun 777? Much love, blessings. So when this happens, what I think happens is that the garden itself, it kind of doesn't have any water because you don't want to feel the fear. So you don't feel anything in that area. And so the garden kind of dries up and the dirt becomes very crumbly, very crackly, and it becomes hard. And this is kind of the whole idea of you put up your guard. You're not going to feel anything because you don't want to feel pain. You don't want to feel hurt. So it's sometimes easier just to not feel anything. And so when this happens, the seeds that you plant, whether they're amazing seeds that have magical potential and possibility, they're not going to grow because the soil that they're being put in is not one that can nourish anything. So that's the first thing that comes to mind with nurturing your potential and allowing it to be, a wonderful thing that grows. Okay. The second thing I wanted to say is that I think that if you avoid the seed and you're scared of it, it's not going to grow. Okay, enough with metaphors now. Let's just get into straight up talking. I've been really reflecting on my my life situation. I feel really thankful to be doing something that I realize I'm afraid to do. Some of it's because I don't know how to do it, because I've never done it before. Another part is because, that feeling that you get when you're like, I'm gonna fuck this up. And so because you have this feeling that you're gonna fuck it up, you don't even want to try. Because it's like, why try if it's gonna be a disaster? Well, my friend, try anyways. Try anyways. I've been pouring a lot of my emotions into this dry area of land in my own heart space, which I have been too afraid to even look at because it's just feelings that I'm not familiar with feeling. And upon doing this, it does, emotions that I have never felt or haven't consciously felt for a very long time. Maybe they were things that people said when I was younger. Maybe it was stuff from past lives. Maybe it was just simply an assumption I made to myself in a story I continued to tell myself. But whatever the case was, it kind of made me feel like I had to avoid this potential, because if I reach it, then something bad will happen. Now, I think I'm in the perfect place and at the perfect time, and I believe that we're all here for a reason, and everything is divinely happening in the most perfect, synchronized way possible. So I have been surrendering to that a lot. But a part of me feels a couple things when it comes to the potential that we all have. We all have unique skills and things that we love to do. And the more that we can lean into and explore and be curious about doing those things, I think the better. But I think it's really hard sometimes when you don't know where to start, because I'm not you and I don't know what is in your heart. I don't know what you're growing. I don't know what you love. I don't know what it is that you crave and desire to do. And I'm still figuring that out for myself. But I think it's a lot easier for us to look at other people and see their potential sometimes than it is for us to look at ourselves and see that potential. And realize that that person that we see that's doing all of that amazing stuff is doing it because they took that fear and they put it somewhere else that's actually helping them and driving them, instead of restraining them and strangling them. And I think that's what we need to do as well, my friend. I think we need to acknowledge where this fear is coming from. I'm realizing that a lot of the things that we want can be received by simply asking. But if you have such a fear around asking because you're afraid that they'll say no, then you probably won't ask. And self-sabotage is the thing where because you think something bad's gonna happen, you never do it, or you unintentionally do it because, yeah. So there's that. That's the thing. And I feel really thankful for the situation that I'm in terms of learning a little bit more about my potential and how to reach it. I've been given a lot of resources recently to further realize this potential and to, grow as much as I can. And I'm scared. I am so scared. I do not even know how to communicate the fear that I feel about the potential that is within my grasps to reach. At the same time, I am so scared, like tears are starting to well up in my eyes because I just feel overwhelmed and I don't know where to begin. And it's kind of a weird thing that, it's something that in your heart you want so deeply, but then when in reality it starts showing up, part of you is like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. You can't do it. But I think it's really important to acknowledge this fear that holds so many people back from going after their dreams, because fear of the unknown. What if it doesn't work out? Of asking people for help because fear of judgment. What are they gonna think of me? Of just simply going out and doing what you love because fear that maybe you won't be good at it, or you won't be able to do it as well as you think, because fear of, not being perfect. I don't know. There's so many different factors that sometimes seem to muddle the mind when it comes to this topic that I just have to say them out loud to make sure I'm not going crazy. And so, yeah, how do you face yourself when you are afraid of the potential that you hold, because you know it is something that will change the planet? And I say this in not like maybe a literal way, like maybe you're working on a song and the song is just fire, and sure, it might not impact every single soul on the earth, but in a way it will, because of the domino effect and, butterfly effect, or whatever you want to say. You do that little thing and it will have a profound impact on our reality as a collective. So I guess there's a little bit of fear there. For me, it's been speaking up and asking people for help and letting them know, like, hey, I don't really know how to do all of this, and I am doing my best, but I feel like it sucks, so should I even try? And I think that's a good kind of fear. At the same time, compassion is important. Learning to have compassion so that you don't have to restrain yourself from messing up and making mistakes and having to go back sometimes, because this is a life journey, okay? It's not just a goal, you know. It's the whole journey, you know, with storylines and side quests and, you know, roads that take you off and loop around, and then next thing you know, you're a little bit further than where you were. Thank you for taking this time with me to talk and acknowledge this. I think right now my biggest fear is just communicating to people at a point where I'm not very clear with myself, you know, of the potential that is still being realized, and asking people to help me bring clarity to this potential so that it can be brought into reality and manifest. So the moral of this live is to ask for help. Don't be afraid of failing, and your potential is something that is pretty intimidating, so it's okay. One thing that is not okay is to procrastinate too much on it, okay? I think there's a good procrastination where you do things to kind of rest, and inevitably you're also learning a little bit more about the potential that lays within you. And then there's a bad kind of procrastination where, as I said in the beginning, your heart becomes drier because you are avoiding feeling certain things that you need to feel in order to process them so that you can actually move towards the reality that you want. The emotions that you feel are so important, especially the ones that kind of suck, especially when it comes to thinking. And we're going to do a little exercise to end today, to think about, you know, that potential, you know, deep inside your heart, taking a few breaths and breathing in to the space of your heart. How do I process negative thoughts? I think it's important for me to let them go and acknowledge them for what they are. They are a thought in my head that is passing and fleeting, just like any other moment. I think that a lot of the times, avoiding them makes it worse, because then you have to actively identify which ones are negative from all of the other ones, and then like kind of run in the other direction. And a lot of the times it just creates more resistance and you pay more attention to them than you need to. So honestly, just acknowledging them and letting them pass like any other thought is the best way to process negative thoughts. For me, though, I totally, you know, it's easier said than done, and I know that for a fact, fam, because these days I've been overthinking a lot of, you know, how do I tell people what I'm building in a way that is simple, clear, and effective. You know, how do I communicate that potential that I'm not even sure how, if it's fully realized. Anyways, tapping back into the heart space, tapping back into the potential. We're going to feel a couple feelings right now. We're going to go through a roller coaster. As you're breathing into your heart space, you might feel it expand, you might feel it contract, you might feel it hurt, you might feel it float, you might feel a lot of things. Every heart space is going to be different as you bring awareness to it. Maybe you're just listening to your heart beating. And as you breathe and your awareness deepens into this space, it's almost like a tunnel. For me, I see a green tunnel that just continues to wind deeper and deeper into this place called potential. And it's infinite, so we can continue to dive here for quite a while, just breathing into the heart space and diving deeper into this potential, realizing just the immense, you know, size of the potential that you hold within you. Taking a few moments to just acknowledge how big this potential really is. Now, for some, as we rise up and breathe in, we're bringing awareness to the throat chakra. There might be some resistance around the midpoint. This is the knot that we are here to untie during this time. And you don't have to pull or tug. You don't really have to do anything other than breathe. And as we breathe in, you'll notice that the knot that might be within the middle of your throat that we've drawn up from the heart space, from that tunnel of potential, it starts to rise up from the heart. So we're just going to gently take a moment to observe how it unfolds by itself by breathing in seeing it loosen and breathing out. You might see things, or you might feel things, you might hear things, you might think things. All the while just simply breathing and bringing awareness. Simply unwinding this knot. For me, as it comes to the brim of an area where it may not want to continue to go because it realizes it's getting close to the end of its knot's life, it's almost done being unraveled. I feel led to make a sound to almost communicate to myself and my body and into the space and the energy around me. Take a moment to just acknowledge the breath and where this knot once was. Now smoothing the connection between your throat and heart. Making it easier to communicate and acknowledge the clarity of your potential. Awesome. Thank you for doing such powerful, beautiful, clear energy work with me. I hope that you made a couple of noises, and right now, if you feel comfortable, I would make a couple of, noises coming from your heart, up from your heart to your throat, to just test out how this new clear energy feels. You're setting the tone for this new channel that you have unlocked within your energy body. And I think it's important to take some time to maybe acknowledge and communicate to yourself how it feels and what has gone on. I hope that you enjoyed this. Learning to express yourself is such a powerful thing, and that you enjoy the journey of expressing yourself and acknowledging the different ways that you express yourself and communicate to yourself. I hope that as you continue to find your potential and express that into the world, that you take some time to have compassion for where you are and what you experience, that you know that you are doing your best, because you honestly absolutely are. Even though it is very easy to have expectations in your mind of what it should be, you are doing the best that you can, and acknowledge that. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that you take this energy with you throughout the day. Maybe you write something or say something, whatever it is, and however you express yourself, know that you are taking a step in defining the tone of your potential. So thank you again so much for joining me. I thank you, I honor you, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Namaste.